In September 2025, 3 professional cave explorers were found dead in Arizona's lava tubes. Their oxygen levels were normal, their lungs clear, no trauma. Every device said the air was fine, yet all 3 stopped breathing at the same second. Federal teams sealed the cave within hours. They said it was a geological anomaly. But months later, the tunnel reopened on its own, and what they found inside was never made public. This is the Arizona Cave Mystery. September 14, 2025. Flagstaff, Arizona. The local search and rescue team received a 911 call at 6:47 p.m. from an emergency beacon registered to a group of 3 experienced cave explorers. The call cut out mid-transmission. Coordinates placed them inside an unmapped lava tube system near Sunset Crater. When rescue teams arrived 4 hours later, they expected a heat stroke case or a twisted ankle. What they found instead was a scene that didn't make sense. The main tunnel was dry, the air stable, no sign of cave-ins or gas leaks. But 3 people were dead, all of them wearing oxygen monitors showing normal levels, equipment intact, cameras running, and not a single sign of panic. The victims: Ryan Hobbs, 36, geologist; Elena Frost, 29, environmental researcher; Marcus Dell, 42, paramedic, were part of a local expedition group mapping hidden tubes created by volcanic activity thousands of years ago. They had done this dozens of times. Experienced, cautious, they carried backup tanks, full-face respirators, and thermal gear. Everything by the book. Rescuers said it looked like they had simply stopped breathing. Their bodies lay only a few feet apart, as if they had sat down to rest and never got up. No trauma, no injuries. The medical examiner later confirmed lungs were clear, hearts had stopped simultaneously, no sign of poisoning. Within hours, the story broke online. 3 dead in Arizona caves, no oxygen loss detected. Hashtags exploded. Hashtag cave mystery, hashtag Flagstaff 3. Reddit threads filled with theories: carbon monoxide pockets, electromagnetic pulses, secret tunnels, even government experiments. But investigators had no answers. Sheriff David Lowe held a brief conference. No structural collapse, no air contamination. The equipment shows breathable levels. We are treating this as an unexplained incident. When asked if foul play was possible, he paused before saying, "We don't see evidence of another party in the cave." 2 days later, when footage from the team's helmet cameras was recovered, the mystery deepened. The final 2 hours were ordinary slow mapping, temperature checks, short jokes over comms. Then, at 4:11 p.m., one of the recorders captured something faint. A low rhythmic sound like breathing, but it didn't match any of their microphones. Seconds later, Ryan Hobbs says, "Do you hear that? Sounds like another team." Marcus replies, "No one else down here." That was the last clear sentence before static takes over. The signal log shows the air sensors suddenly spiking for 1 second, then returning to normal. 1 second. That's when their vitals flatlined. By September 20th, federal specialists were brought in. Portable labs scanned the tunnels. No gases, no temperature drops, no radio interference. Yet all 3 digital watches had frozen at exactly 4:13 p.m. Locals started calling it the silent collapse. News anchors called it America's strangest cave deaths. But for investigators, it was something worse. A case with no cause. When the autopsy report leaked, another strange detail appeared. Each of the 3 had tiny circular marks behind their left ear. Not burns, not punctures. Almost identical placement. Pathologists said they could be insect bites. Except there were no insects in that part of the cave system. Reporters pressed for updates, but the sheriff's office locked down details. Equipment was seized by federal agents, citing environmental hazard review. Cave entrance was sealed within 48 hours with concrete blocks and warning signs. Still, locals claimed that at night, From the ridge above the crater, you could hear something. A dull echo, like a heartbeat under rock. When a journalist from the Arizona Chronicle tried to film at the site a week later, his drone lost signal exactly over the blocked tunnel. When footage was recovered, the final frame showed something shining inside the crack, a reflection, or maybe a lens flare. He swore it looked like a light turning off. By late September, conspiracy videos flooded YouTube. Arizona cave experiment. Secret military base below Flagstaff. Sound frequencies that kill. None had proof, but all had millions of views. The families, meanwhile, demanded answers. Elena Frost's father said in an interview, "She texted me that morning. Signal's good today. See you for dinner." She never missed check-ins. She was the safest one in that group. When the coroner was asked for cause of death, his report listed one word: undetermined. That's where the official story ended, but locals whispered something else. 2 hikers claimed they saw flashlights moving near the crater days after the cave was sealed. They said the figures weren't carrying gear, just standing at the blocked entrance. And one of them was wearing a rescue team jacket. By October 1st, the case had shifted out of the sheriff's hands. Federal environmental teams rolled in first, then the FBI, then something called the Geological Anomalies Task Unit. No one in town had heard of it before. They said it was part of a research branch that handled subterranean safety protocols. The sheriff was told to stand down. From that point on, everything about the Arizona cave case went dark, but not completely. A technician from the rescue unit leaked a folder of internal memos to a local news blog. They detailed what the federal team found when they re-entered the cave. The original tunnel had collapsed, or at least that's what it looked like on the surface. But behind that collapse was a second passage, one that didn't appear on the initial 3D map. The coordinates didn't align with natural geology. According to the leak, the second tunnel was almost perfectly smooth. No jagged walls, no debris, no marks from ancient lava flow. Just a 20-foot wide corridor that curved slightly downward. The lead geologist described it as mechanically shaped. That phrase never made it to the official report. They ran thermal scanners through the concrete barrier. It showed faint heat signatures, like something generating warmth deep inside. The team wanted to drill, but the order came down from higher up. Seal everything. No excavation authorized. 3 days later, locals reported unmarked vans parked by the crater entrance overnight. No license plates. When they left, the barrier had doubled in thickness. Meanwhile, the families of the victims pushed for information. Ryan Hobbs' sister told reporters the FBI returned his belongings in 2 boxes, but his personal tablet was missing. She said he always documented cave data in encrypted folders, with GPS logs and oxygen readings. The agency said it wasn't recovered. Then, in mid-October, a Reddit post went viral. A user claiming to be part of the rescue team uploaded a 20-second clip of corrupted footage. It showed one of the victims, Elena, walking through the tunnel, helmet cam flickering, her breathing steady. Then a sound, low and layered, almost like voices whispering over each other. She stops, turns her light toward the sound. The lens captures something on the wall patterns, almost like carvings, circular and precise. The clip ends with static. Within hours, the post vanished. The account too, but mirror copies spread everywhere. Experts analyzed the sound and said it wasn't whispering at all. It was the same pattern of frequency found in low-frequency sonar, something used in underwater mapping. But there's no water in those caves. A week later, a retired scientist named Dr. Melvin Croft, who once worked with geological surveys, came forward on a podcast. He said what happened in Flagstaff matched a classified phenomenon called resonant vacuum collapse. According to him, certain sealed underground spaces can amplify subsonic waves to levels that affect the human brain, causing paralysis, cardiac arrest, or instant unconsciousness. The theory was dismissed decades ago because no one could reproduce it. But when the host asked if sound alone could kill 3 people instantly, Kraft said, only if they were in the right place, at the wrong time. But others weren't convinced. A former agent leaked that the cave's readings didn't match any known acoustic signature. Instead, the data showed a repeating pulse, precise, timed, and mechanical, every 46 minutes, like a machine turning on and off. Then came the biggest leak. A private satellite company revealed that a week before the deaths, one of their ground-penetrating radar sweeps captured a heat anomaly under the crater, exactly where the tunnel was. The shape? A perfect circle, 60 meters wide, the same area where the victims were found. Theories exploded. Some claimed it was a Cold War bunker. Others said a test site for new mining tech. But one fact made it impossible to ignore. That region had no recorded tunnels, no mining operations, no military ownership. The land was technically unregistered. By early November, 2 people tied to the investigation vanished. A freelance journalist named Chris Weller, who had been following the leaked footage trail, missed a meeting with his editor. His last known phone ping was from a truck stop 15 miles north of Flagstaff, the same route leading towards Sunset Crater. 3 days after his disappearance, his car was found parked at the visitor lot near the sealed cave. No signs of struggle, just an open notebook on the passenger seat with 3 words scribbled: same sound, still there. That line reignited everything. Reddit, X, YouTube people started returning to the site at night, trying to record the sound. Dozens claimed they captured low-frequency vibrations through their phones. Some said their recordings corrupted instantly. Others posted fake clips for clout. But one video stood out. It was uploaded by a hiker named Lee Mendez. Her clip showed nothing for the first 15 seconds, just the blocked entrance, faint wind. Then a deep pulse hits. You can see the camera shake. Her breathing quickens. The sound repeats every few seconds, then fades. She says quietly, "It's like it's breathing." 2 hours after posting, her account was deleted. When the FBI was asked about the video, they issued a single-line statement: there is no ongoing public safety threat related to the Flagstaff incident. But on the same day, construction crews started building a fence around the crater, barbed wire, warning signs, surveillance towers, for a cave that was supposedly sealed and safe. In December, the final autopsy supplement leaked. Toxicology, clear. Oxygen saturation, normal. But the pathologist added something no one noticed before: trace amounts of a metallic residue inside their ear canals. Composition unknown. Similar findings appeared in old mining reports from the 1940s, an abandoned project labeled Echo Base. The report was stamped discontinued, lethal resonance risk. By January, one thing became clear: this wasn't nature, and it wasn't an accident. The cave didn't kill them. Something inside it did. And according to new seismic data, that something had started moving again. By late January 2026, the crater site was under 24-hour watch. Locals said it looked less like an investigation and more like a quarantine zone. Floodlights, motion sensors, 2 guard stations. Nobody knew what they were protecting. Officially, it was unstable ground. Unofficially, everyone knew that something under there was still active. Then came the storm. February 3rd. Record lightning, ground tremors, entire north slope of Sunset Crater vibrating. The nearest monitoring station logged a frequency spike identical to the one detected before the deaths, 46-minute cycles. But this time, the pattern accelerated until it vanished completely. And just after midnight, the concrete barrier gave way. Security footage from a nearby tower caught it. The blocked entrance shaking, cracking, and then silence. When dawn came, the entrance wasn't just broken, it was gone. In its place, an opening twice the size, edges smooth like glass. The interior glowed faintly, as if reflecting light from deep inside. Within hours, the site filled with federal trucks. The task unit returned with full hazmat gear, drone rigs, ground sensors. None of the footage ever reached the public, but one insider leak made it out. A single image of the new tunnel interior. Perfect symmetry. Circular marks running along the walls, like something had bored through the rock from below. That same night, radio hobbyists around Arizona reported interference across the entire band, a low pulse, repeating in 4-second intervals. It lasted exactly 13 minutes. 2 weeks later, Dr. Melvin Croft, the retired scientist who had talked about resonant collapse, was found dead in his home. Official cause, stroke. But his computer was missing, and neighbors said his phone rang once every night at the same time for 3 days before his death. When police checked, the caller ID was blank. Then, silence again. Until March 1st. A drone operator named Jason Hill, who'd been documenting restricted sites for a YouTube channel, flew a thermal drone over the crater from 3 miles away. What he caught shocked everyone. Beneath the surface, at least 40 meters down, the thermal camera showed shapes moving. Not heat blobs, not gas shifts, structured motion. Lines forming and disappearing, almost rhythmic. Jason's clip lasted 27 seconds before his feet cut. He never uploaded again. Government teams arrived at his address the next morning. His drone was confiscated. Jason himself said nothing publicly after that. By spring, the entire area was declared federal property under Environmental Safety Code 19. Every online mention of the cave began disappearing. News outlets stopped covering it. Even older reports were pulled. It looked like the story was over. But 3 months later, a maintenance worker checking a storm drain in downtown Flagstaff found something impossible, an ID tag. It belonged to Marcus Dell, one of the original victims. But the tag was pristine, with no rust, no damage, no trace of time underground. Lab tests dated the metal as newly manufactured. That discovery forced the case back into public attention. Investigators quietly reopened files, comparing all recorded resonance data from the cave to new seismic readings across northern Arizona. The pattern was spreading, identical low-frequency pulses detected under multiple sites, as if whatever was beneath Sunset Crater wasn't isolated anymore. At the same time, residents near the crater reported hearing the sound again, faint, steady, like a heartbeat under rock. Phone mics couldn't pick it up, but people said they could feel it in their ribs. On May 6th, an anonymous email was sent to half a dozen newsrooms. It contained one attachment, a 5-second audio clip labeled inside_4_13_PM WAV. Forensic analysts traced the file's spectrogram and found embedded coordinates. Those coordinates matched the exact spot where the 3 explorers had died. When investigators played the audio, they heard 3 breaths, then a voice, faint, distorted, but clear enough to understand. It said, "We're still here." The email sender was never identified. The metadata showed it was sent through a satellite uplink that didn't exist anymore, the same model used by the original rescue team in 2025. After that, everything related to the case vanished from public record. The crater was listed as an inactive zone. The families received final reports stating the deaths were caused by environmental shock. No further details. But in late July, a tourist snapped a photo of the crater from a helicopter. Hidden in the frame, down near the base, were 3 new concrete slabs, arranged in a triangle. In the center, a circular hatch. It wasn't there before. And if you listen to the original rescue footage, the unedited version that circulated for only 1 hour before deletion, you can hear the final line before the static hit. Ryan Hobbs saying quietly, "It's opening from below.